What I'm about to share with you absolutely works like magic. This will completely shift any negative situation you've been dealing with, even if this situation has been going on for years and nothing has worked so far. Hello, my beautiful superheroes. Welcome back to my channel, the place where we make the impossible possible. If you're new here, hi. I'm Scarlett Grace, I'm a manifestation coach, and I'm here to help you manifest your heart's desires. In this video, I'm going to share with you a way to completely transform any negative situation that you're dealing with. If you have a negative situation in your life, if you have a problem, and you have been trying to manifest a different reality, but for some reason it doesn't seem to work, or it starts working and then things go back to the way they used to be before, and you don't know why you cannot shift this situation, what you're about to learn will change everything for you. You will be able to shift out of that negative situation in a matter of hours. But before we jump into this, if you want to learn how to manifest any desire fast with the Law of Assumption and Neville Goddard's teachings, then subscribe and hit the bell icon. I also have several self-study courses to help you manifest, including a 21-day course on how to manifest your specific person. And if you need some extra help or my personal advice for your situation, coaching is open. And don't forget to download the free meditations I have prepared for you to help you manifest your desires fast. You will find the links for all of those things in the description below. Do you have a persistent negative situation in your life? The kind of situation where you use affirmations or visualization and things just aren't shifting? Or things start to shift and then immediately go back to the way they used to be before? And you can't figure out why this situation persists and why any manifestation method that you know isn't fully working to shift it? When you find yourself in a situation like that, most people will tell you that you just didn't imagine enough, or you are not affirming enough and you need to do more, and that's when the situation will shift. So you imagine more and you affirm more, and the situation remains the same or even gets worse. There is a reason why this happens, and today you're going to understand that reason so that you know if another situation like that pops up in your life in the future, how to deal with it so that it doesn't have to take months or years for you to resolve it, for you to manifest the reality that you want. The reason this kind of thing happens is because we cannot let go of the problem. So it's not about affirming more or imagining more. Imagining more or affirming more or using more manifestation methods could help if it helps shift you out of the mentality of the problem, of the perception of the problem. But usually what happens is the more we try to manifest something, the more effort we put in, the worse things become. Because effort means that you're struggling against something. And when you feel that you're struggling against something, your feelings manifest. What you're doing is you're solidifying the existence of the problem, the existence of the struggle. And that is why the problem keeps persisting and you keep feeling more and more desperate because you cannot find a solution. You think to yourself, there is no solution. Nothing is working. And you know what? You're right. Because the solution to your problem isn't in the same timeline as the problem. In this timeline, the way it has developed, there is no solution. You don't have to see a solution in this timeline because it doesn't have to exist. What you need to understand in order to shift out of any persistent negative situation is that this whole thing, this problem, no matter how hard it seems, no matter how long you've struggled against it, isn't actually real. It is just an illusion. It is nothing more than an illusion. It is not real. It's like an incredibly well-created 3D movie, or a video created using artificial intelligence that shows a person saying or doing something, a famous person maybe, when they never did that thing or said that thing. It looks incredibly realistic, but it is actually just an illusion. It doesn't truly exist. Nothing is actually real in this reality. Everything gets created by your mind, the good stuff and the bad stuff. So it doesn't matter how big this problem seems, it doesn't matter how long you've struggled against it. The key to dissolving it almost instantly is to realize that it is just an illusion. It doesn't have any power. It is fake. It is completely fake. And that is why nothing works to make it go away, because if you try to struggle with an illusion, you cannot win. It's an illusion. If the illusion is set up to persist, it will continue persisting. You cannot figure your way out of it, because the more you struggle against it, the more you try to use your logical mind to find a logical, sensible solution out of this situation, the more you feed the illusion. Imagine it like this. You wake up one day, you're in your bedroom, but there's no windows and doors. Somebody came in and put bricks and made your doors and your windows disappear. So you are inside of your bedroom and there is no way out. No matter how much you think about it, no matter how frantically you try to find a way to escape the room, you cannot escape the room until you understand that this isn't actually happening. This is just an illusion. I may see a wall in front of me, but there is no wall, because right there is where my door is. And even though you see a wall, if you understand that the wall is an illusion, that somebody is just messing with your mind, you can just stand up and walk through the doorway. But until you realize that it is an illusion, you will not be able to escape it, because the data you have is wrong. You see a wall where there is a doorway. So you're trying to figure out how to break through the wall when the wall isn't even there. That's how all problems exist in our reality. They're just illusions. They're fake. They're not real. They're like holograms. They may look real, but they are absolutely not. So the first step to turn any situation around like magic in just a matter of hours is to understand this problem is just an illusion. You can stop struggling against it now. You can stop trying to find a solution. You don't need to do any of that stuff. It is just a very persistent, incredibly realistic, incredibly well-made illusion. Congratulations, you can make incredible illusions. You have a talent for it. It is just an illusion. It's not this impossible situation that has beaten you. The only reason you haven't been able to break through and resolve it is because you used to think it was real. Not because it is powerful, not because it's more powerful than you, not because some higher power put it there and that's why you can't break through, not because somebody else has the ability to manifest problems in your reality, not because if this has to do with a person, their will is stronger than yours and that's why you cannot manifest your way out of it. No, it's just because it's fake and you have been treating it as a real thing, trying to logic your way out of it, and that's why it wasn't working. This is why circumstances don't matter when it comes to manifesting, because circumstances are all an illusion. You don't have to fix them. So right now, I want you to think about this for a moment. Spend a moment thinking about the fact that this, what you're dealing with, what has been making you feel sad and broken and desperate, it is just an illusion. And take a deep breath. While you're letting this fact sink in, it's just an illusion. It has zero power. You have all the power. You don't have to beat it. You can just allow it to dissolve. So now that you understand that this problem is an illusion, let's deal with the fact that the reason you couldn't see a way out in this timeline is because the solution doesn't necessarily exist in this timeline. This is the timeline that has the problem as a very persistent situation. This is the timeline you have been on for a while. What you need to do isn't try to figure out the problem. As we explained, it's just an illusion. It doesn't have a solution. What you need to do is transfer to a version of reality where that problem doesn't exist, and this part of your life, whatever it is, whether it is money, a specific person, some kind of situation in your life, it is the way you want it to be. It doesn't have the problem in it. The problem stays in the timeline you have been on up until now. You switch timelines, and in your new timeline, the problem doesn't exist anymore. You have your ideal situation. And you can do that in many different ways. That's where imagining will help. That's where affirmations will help. But here is my advice. If you have been dealing with this problem for a while and all those affirmations and imagining didn't help to break you out of it, I recommend that you start with a simple, more general affirmation to put you on the right timeline, so that you don't have any triggers like, oh, I used this imaginal sin before and it didn't work, which may pull you right into the illusion again, and you may forget it's an illusion and your mind will try to figure things out again and get you stuck once more. The affirmation that I want you to start using is this: I'm always living in my highest, best, and most abundant timeline. Say this with me right now. I'm always living in my highest, best, most abundant timeline. I'm always living in my highest, best, most abundant timeline. You don't have to specify what that looks like. It is your highest, best, and most abundant timeline. And that is enough, because that means no problems exist there and all situations are working in your favor. Make the decision right now that this is your new timeline. You're always living in your highest, best, most abundant timeline, no matter what timeline that is. You are done trying to figure things out. You are done focusing on problems. You are done feeling stuck. You're done with it all. From now on, you're only living in your highest, best, most abundant timeline. And in that timeline, you don't need to figure anything out. You don't need to figure out how to resolve any problem. If something shows up that looks like a problem, remind yourself, I'm living in my highest, best, most abundant timeline. So if this looks like a problem, it isn't. It's actually going to work out in my favor. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to do anything about it. And when you feel ready, you can create the rules of this new reality, of this new timeline. How do people treat you? What is your relationship with money in this timeline? How is your life? Do you feel happy all day? You decide the rules. This is your highest, best, most abundant timeline. You get to decide what the rules are. And you can create this as a list of affirmations, which are the new rules for this new timeline where everything works out for you. But don't rush this. If you feel you've spent too long affirming and imagining and things weren't changing, you don't actually have to do that to shift this specific situation. All you have to know is that this problem was never real. It is an illusion and you don't have to fix it. And that you are living from now on in your highest, best, most abundant timeline, starting at this very moment. This is not somewhere you're going to transfer. You have already transferred to your best, highest, most abundant timeline. You are there right now. You are there from now on. The last thing that you need to do to completely shift this unwanted situation in a matter of hours, and not just shift it, but make sure this shift is permanent, that things will not go back to the problematic way they used to be before, is I need you to be aware of your thoughts. Your brain is used to trying to figure things out. So even though you have realized that this problem isn't real, that it's just an illusion and you don't need to fix it to figure it out, your brain is used to trying to figure it out. So I want you to be aware of that and watch your thoughts. If you catch yourself thinking about how to figure this problem out, or how if you throw a lot of money at the problem, maybe it will go away, or whatever other way your brain has or the physical world says that you need to try to fix that problem, I need you to be aware of that and stop yourself when you think that and remind yourself that, oh, I don't actually have to spend a fortune hoping that this might be a solution to my problem. This problem is just an illusion. I don't have to fix it. I just have to remember that it's an illusion and allow it to dissolve. I don't have to frantically look for an answer. This is just an illusion. I don't have to do anything. And then remind yourself that from now on you're living in your highest, best, most abundant timeline. Catch yourself before you go down the rabbit hole of frantically trying to find a solution again. This doesn't work. You know that it doesn't work because you have been doing it already for who knows how long. If it was going to work, it would have worked already. You don't need that. You don't need to figure things out. You just need to remind yourself that this is an illusion and allow the illusion to dissolve. I've tried this many times with many stuck, very problematic situations where I couldn't find a way out, and the situation transformed in front of my eyes, literally like magic. So try this and let me know how it goes. And if you haven't already, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, because I put out new videos every Sunday to help you manifest an amazing life.